What's going on, guys? Karate Man here, back again with a big ass fro. Time to get in here for game and talk about and show you some new things. Now, I want to tell you what's going on, my boys. I want to give you guys the progress report. I want to give you guys 100% honesty, 100% realness. So, your boy was going on the mission, spy game vision, about to get in there with the spirit decks for King of Games. Now, I know the King of Games event isn't over, but I'm gonna say, for the sake of time and my own sanity and frustration, I decided to end it. Now, I didn't end it because I was served up the L's by the metagame. I ended it because I realized that while I was playing through the game, like, the deck is tight. The deck works. It can beat these meta decks. And I got a lot of replays to show you that proves it. The problem is, when you're playing on the ladder, on King of Games for ranking, King of Games, I almost feel like if you play with one deck, and I don't think I've ever done this before, I played from silver or bronze or wherever you start. I played from there all the way through to P2 with the spirit deck. When I got to gold 3 and gold 4, I started to get odd matchups. And when I say an odd matchup, I mean like the same deck over and over and over again that wasn't a meta deck, or the same character over and over and over again, to basically try to rush me out and bum me out of the ranking. Like, and when I changed to a different deck, it stopped. And I thought that was really suspicious or weird, and I didn't think to record any of it at the time because I was just playing through. But when I sat down and was preparing for this video and getting stuff together, I started to think about what I actually played. So, for example, this deck was built to counter the meta. Like I build rogue decks around here, and we build unique decks to fight the meta. Because what's the point of handing out an L if it looked like everybody else's L? Got to be a unique, pretty L, you know what I mean? So when you're looking at the deck that's like right below me, this deck was built to counteract the meta. Spirit monsters stay off the field so that they can't be sucked, and then monsters like Fiend, Mega Cyber, and a Sword Priest come in and end the game, because these cards help to take your opponent's resources out by your opponent exhausting resources on them. Now, the thing about this deck is, when we fought against rogue decks, we took our L's. And as a matter of fact, I dropped many ranks trying to defeat these rogue decks. And you might wonder, like, why would you lose to a random rogue deck? Because these random rogue decks, they built to beat the meta, and these random rogue decks they built were super aggressive decks. So, like, for example, the Blue Eyes deck that's recently out, that deck opens us up to an L because we could take a random 3,000 hit. You know, a random 3,000 hit ain't good unless you got golden apple. And sometimes that could put you in an awkward situation. A Blue Eyes on turn 2 or turn 1 is devastating. That's why summoning spirit monsters at 25 and 28 and 23 on turn 1 is devastating. So it's almost like a similar deck. Also, I fought a lot of mirror matches. A lot of you boys took the spirits into ranked mode recently. I was seeing you guys in gold 4, platinum 1, and platinum 2, and it was great. I even played somebody one-on-one that looked like the exact same deck, but he did catch that body. But basically, I had advantage over him because when he was playing me with his spirit deck, he didn't get into his spells and traps, which is another weakness of this deck. You know, there really isn't draw power except out of Destiny Draw. But he was trying to use Bandit Keith and Switcheroo for his spirits, but I was using Destiny Draw for my spirits, which gave me the advantage. But that's pretty much it. Like, so in the end, the highest that this deck got was P2. and this is my Platinum 2 build. I changed the deck around the... We went to G3, G4, and I made a couple tweaks. Then we hit Platinum. I had to change it to this to stop these rogue decks. And this was pretty effective at stopping rogue decks, but then I started to get bodied by meta decks. So I want to say I haven't figured this out yet because this weekend has been crazy. Oh, I didn't even mention why I was stopping. I stopped because all of yesterday I really didn't get a chance to play. Actually, I haven't been able to really play Duel Links as I wanted to try to get this where I could be after like the 27th. The 28th, 29th has been 2 rough days, so I wasn't really able to sit down and do this. This is why you didn't get any videos yesterday, actually, except for that arms video, but I had made that in the middle of the night because I happened to be up because your boy was stressing out. So I happened to be up and I happened to see the Japanese arms thing and I got hyped, so I made a video. But other than that, this is becoming pretty vloggy. I'm gonna move on though. But I had a rough last 2 days, so I didn't really have time to sit down and try to go for King of Games. I know that I can crack the code to just to beat these rogue decks, but because the rogue deck losses were not overwhelming losses. This deck does not take overwhelming losses unless it draws bad. This deck was losing by the skin of his teeth. Like, you know, rogue decks down to 50, I'm down to 150. They get the 150 off before I get my 50 off. But basically is how these things happen. And then a lot of the early damage came from me being surprised at whatever deck this was. So that's what's going on here with this. That's what's going on with this deck. So somewhere between the deck on the right and the deck in the middle, there is there is a deck that can transcend through the entire process. But when you factor in potentially being matched up, you know what I'm saying? Because I think you get matched up if you play with one deck, so you got to switch it up. And that's something I forgot. I used to do that all the time. And the random rogue decks and then the issues I was having, I just didn't have the time to go through. And it's still time to play it. But after I took all those L's from those rogue decks, I kept playing. Like, I'm the type of guy, I'm a hard-headed guy. So when I'm playing in the rank mode and I take an L, I want to find out, did I take the L because I played bad, or did I take an L because the cards were bad? And I just keep playing. And then basically I took so many L's, I ranked all the way down to, I think I'm at like gold 3 or gold 2. I ranked all the way down because I kept trying to make it work. But then this build, the build that I showed you, is the one that was taking on the rogue decks. But after that, so basically in the end, I ain't make King of Games, but I only made it up to P2. And if you, then to be real, if you can make it to fucking Platinum, you can make it to King of Games. It's just a matter of matchups. So, I mean, I don't know. That's all I could do because I just ran out of time. But it made the Platinum too. I think if any deck, to be honest, if any deck can get past gold and get to Platinum, I think it's a viable deck. Because when you're playing up in Platinum, at least my experience, because I haven't tried to go King of Games recently. I was trying this time. I really was. When you get to Platinum and you get hit with the onslaught of rogues trying to kill the meta, it is not good for your rogue deck. That's how, in real life tournaments, why people who play rogue decks get bodied. So let's say I go in, you know, everybody's playing, I don't know, I'm gonna just call it the Duel Links deck. You know, everybody's playing the Duel Links deck. That's the meta deck. You go to play the rogue deck, and so does your friend. So when you sit down and get matched up, you and your friend play on the first round. So what chance does your rogue deck have, or your friend's rogue deck have, making it to, you know, the finals? Not much, because one of you are about to hold this L. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, rogue decks normally beat other rogue decks, and then they never get a chance to beat the meta decks in actual tournaments. In King of Games, it feels like if you continuously win with one deck, you will be matched against your weakness. And I think that's what was happening. I was getting matched against my weakness continuously. And what's the weakness to this deck? I don't know if I mentioned it. I might just be rambling. Continuous beat down monsters or special summon monsters. Like if someone can special summon 2 monsters in one turn, this deck is over. If someone can summon a monster and it's stronger than every other monster and I have no out, too good. Like that's what defeats this deck. Sargon Electro is a really strong card against this deck because I'm running 3 apples, which is why I changed up the deck and added in the Desquala, the half shots, the Nomen Extermination. Like this is why I changed this deck at that platinum level, because this will made it more viable. It made things stick. Like the punches really hit hard, and they couldn't get around the Guardian statue. So that's it, boys. So that was it for my deck profile on my P3 Spirit deck. But before we get into all that, I just spent 10 minutes talking to you about that, my views and opinions. But we shall go into these duel replays because I need to show you boys some replays. Now I did switch up. I do have like a Cancer Weevil deck. I call it Flips for real because it is a flip Weevil deck, but that's next week, boys. But for now, I'm just gonna show you boys these replays because I saved the replays that were relevant. So what's the meta right now? The meta is the suck, either Relinquished or the Atmosphere, which is essentially the same effect. So you don't really have to think around how to defeat those. Like it's the same thing. They take your monster from you and beat you over the head with it. Don't put monsters on the board. Spirits. Golden apple to protect. Spirits. You know what I'm saying? That's the strategy. Mai, blow us up back row. Cancer Weevil. Didn't get a Cancer Weevil because didn't really see many of those at all. When I did see them, they were like 50-50. Sometimes they body me, sometimes I body them. But it wasn't, I don't think, no one really cares about Cancer Weevil. Everybody knows sometimes you got to hold an L against Cancer Weevil. I think what people really cared about was the Mai match, the Mai matchup, the Bandit Keith matchup. I'm not Bandit Keith, the suck matchups, and that's it. During my playthrough, I've only seen Relinquish and the Atmosphere. Like those I've been seeing the suck matchup many times. That's why I just shot right up to P3. There's a lot of the suck, and then Mai jumps out, and it was a lot of Mai matches. Mai is very strong. Like Mai doesn't get curve stomped by this deck. Mai will curve stomp your ass. She will stomp the shit out of you if she gets all the cards. But having spirit monsters stay off the field, having bird face, not essentially not destroying bird face, you know, those things are why we're getting in there. But I had to start this over, by the way. I had already recorded it and went halfway through, but somehow it just disconnected itself, and then I lost everything. So that was fun. And we had to start all over, so that's great. So me versus this guy Bandit Keith, Karate Man over here with his full throw, about to get this 2000 attack on you right now. So I like how it's showing from the opponent's view, because now we get to see the opponent's hand and you can see how broken it was. So nobody can complain and say, "Bah, that's not a quality opponent." By the way, when people say that, I think that's a dumbass. That's like a stupid argument to say that an opponent isn't quality. Like, what do you mean an opponent isn't quality? All the opponents are quality. Like, you know, just because an opponent might not be playing a meta deck does not diminish the functions of the deck that I built. So, you know, all the opponents are quality. I mean, just to devalue somebody because they're not playing the suck doesn't mean, just because somebody's not playing the suck don't mean that they suck. It just means that they don't want to play the suck. By the way, speaking of the suck, I did add a Relinquish to this deck at one point, but I took it out because I felt like it just didn't flow as good as I hoped. But using the spirit, like the spirit spot, you can search out a ritual spell. So I will search out the Black Losing Ritual, and then I would Destiny draw for Relinquish if I really needed it. Or if I drew into Relinquish, I would use it. So, I mean, it worked, but I just didn't like it. Personal preference. I kind of feel like I don't want to use Relinquished in this deck because everybody uses Relinquished, but I know that that's probably the thing that'll take it to the next level. I just don't want to do that. Like if you like to get more consistent wins, probably just add Relinquished. But that's the easy way. I want to make, I want to make it my way. Anyway, so now this is how you play against the suck deck, regardless of the suck deck. Beat them over the head, keep your monsters off the board. They can only deal 1,400 damage per turn at a bare minimum. Most of the time, that's just, that's all the damage they can deal. I went and got an Asura Priest, I believe, off of that first pickup, or maybe I got off the second pickup. But, Asura Priest can handle anything that they can throw out, and they can't summon Relinquish because there's nothing for you to suck. I mean, nothing for them to suck. I just went to go get a Asura Priest right now. So because there's nothing for them to suck, their deck is at a horrible disadvantage. As you can see, this dude has the ability. So think about if I set a monster in my first turn. He would have activated Black Illusion Ritual, pitched, sucked, attacked for 14. I would have set another card to summon the monster, Black Illusion Ritual, pitch, suck, attack for game. That would have been the result of this match. But because I'm playing Spirits, he has to use a Relinquish to defend his ass because there's no monsters on the board. And even when he switcheroos, which is what he did, actually this was a pretty bad play on his part, playing Black Illusion Ritual and then playing Switcheroo. Should play Switcheroo first, then Black Illusion Ritual, but I'm not trying to critique this man, tell him that he sucks, because I make the mistakes all the time. However, clearly he made a play mistake there. So I'm just like, all right, good. Summon the suck. I know he said an E controller. I knew that. Like nobody just summons a Relinquish with nothing to protect it. He had to protect himself because I got a 2300 beat stick that can attack him directly for game, and he doesn't want that. So I just summon my 1200 beat stick and attack him for life point direct damage because I'll kill him in 2 turns. So he uses his econ, draws another Black Illusion Ritual. The deck that this is built, this is called the, I forget what this deck is called, but this is like the #1 Relinquish build that's out right now, which is 3 Relinquish, 3 Black Illusion Ritual, 3 Thunder Dragon, 3 Senju, 3 Sonic Bird. That's what this deck is. That's what this guy is playing right now. And this is how you body that deck with the Spirit. You got to make sure you keep your monsters off the board so there's no targets to suck, and you just whittle them life points down. Now he's got to draw in another card, and I think that set card is a golden apple maybe. I'm not sure what the set card is though, because it's been a long time since I watched this replay. But he gets in there for that 14. Let's see what my face down is. How predictable. My golden apple. So hit this man with the golden apple, right? And he's sitting there looking like, finally, a suck target. But you won't live long enough to suck it, boy. You won't live. Because now I got the Destiny draw. And I'm wondering what I went and got here. What did I get? Oh, Gnome Extermination. Oh, so that must have mean sometime the deck that you're looking at the bottom right now, this match must be between this deck and the final deck that I showed you, because I added Nobleman of Extermination. So I don't remember which ranking this was, but this was probably like G4P1 or something like that. Who knows? I don't know. But that's where I encountered this deck. So yeah. So now it's over. Like, now he's looking like, I can't believe this dude beat the shit out of me with the Spirit. He got through half of his deck. He got through 10 cards. So that's a nice L for you. Hold it. Now, let's take a look at the next opponent here. We're going to do Yugi versus Mai, because I know you boys want to know, this deck, can it fuck with the Mai? Yeah, it can fuck with the Mai, boy. Let's show you some Mai matches. Because, again, you got to play them different. Every match you got to play differently. That's what I like about this deck. You don't just play it like, a Mai deck or a Rex deck or whatever. You just like, well, I'll play this card, and I play this card, and I play that card, and win the game or lose the game. And now look at this matchup. Harpy's Hunting Ground And I have 3 traps and a Naba White Rabbit. You might think this is an L. You might think that I'm about to hold this L, but I'm about to show you something. So of course, I don't want her to pop my golden apple, so I have to set all cards. I have to do it. If I don't set all cards, you know, she might just summon Harpy Lady and fuck me. But she doesn't have Harpy Lady. She's got Bird Face! And because she has Bird Face and not Harpy Lady, she not popping shit. But guess what else ain't about to happen? I'm not about to kill that Bird Face because I got Golden Apple and a Naba White Rabbit. Against Mai, this is your best bet. To set up a Golden Apple if you can, or get out something big in defense mode if you can, which is why I started to add Guardian statues and things like that, because that helps out a lot against Mai. But this card here, this trap card, is what helps me a lot. Spirit Invitation. You're basically going to use that. Oh, excuse me. Wow. You're going to use that to bounce her Bird Face and keep chipping her with the 1200. Like that was a strategy of the Mai deck. You got to use Spirit Invitation to mess with her. Now, there has been later installments of this deck where I've added more Spirit Invitations and less Spirit Invitations. It's a card that I like, but it's a card that is very situational. You gotta have it at the right time. Like if I top deck it, and I didn't have it now, and I top decked it, I've been so pissed. I couldn't use it at all. So drop that Bird Face, and then what else you drop? What spell card? That Riryoku. It's time. You're playing the Riryoku. This is why I added cards like Half Shot. Because there was a lot of Riryoku play at a higher level. I thought it would be less Riryoku play. I didn't think people really played that card much anymore. So I still got a Golden Apple, and now I got these intimidating traps on the board. And you know, if she summons Harpy Lady, you know, unless she has game, you know, she's gonna probably pop one of those other cards. So right now my plays extend to either attacking Bird Face, which I don't want to do, setting Asura Priest, which I don't want to do, but I could summon a Naba White Rabbit, attack directly, and then Spirit Invitation, invite that Bird Face to the hand. I want to hear her say it again. I summon Bird Face. I want to hear it every turn. I summon Bird Face. What card you want to summon? Bird Face. I need to hear that every turn, because now I'm gonna hit her with another Golden Apple. Because guess what's coming next? Another Naba White Rabbit. So basically, this is how you play against Mai. You kind of lock her out and make sure that she cannot draw her. Well, not cannot draw. You don't give her a free Harpy Lady. And if she does get a Harpy Lady, she'll probably use the Harpy Lady to pop, you know, the shit that you got on the board that's annoying her, that's screwing her over. So again, Destiny Draw for Nobleman Extermination. I do this a lot for game. I always Destiny Draw into Nobleman of Extermination. You would think, and it was Mitch Azuri, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I love this deck. Why Mai's deck is so good. Playing through this, I understand why it's so good. If I played a meta deck, I probably would play Mai's. Because Mai's deck is good, because Mai has automatic, you know, spell and trap destruction. You know, that's a great ability to have. But because she has automatic spell and trap destruction, she has room to play a lot of protection spells and traps for her monsters. And looks like this Mai is a more aggressive Mai build with the Riryoku and like the Michizuri and things like that. I summon Bird Face. It's music to my ears every time she does it. Look, and what is that? Another Riryoku. See, you see what I'm saying? It's like, so this guy's Riryoku and getting in there for game. But that shit don't matter because we got that Naba White Rabbit attacking over the Bird Face to the life points directly. And then we're going to go ahead and pay that next 5. Then we're going to summon that Beat Stick. Attack. Put it back in your hand, Mai. Back in your hand. Or die. Or die. Nani. So then Windstorm of Otaku. Absolutely fine. But the funny thing is, guess what? At the end of the turn, you're going to put that back in your hand, and all you can summon is another 1800 Beat Stick. Wonderful. You know, just controlling the board with invitation. With invitation. It's just great. Like, that's one of the pillars of his deck, is controlling the board, which is why I decided to add in those Guardian statues later on, because Guardian statue with that card actually is devastating. And then you can essentially do 2 monsters per turn except for 1. So it's devastating to your opponent to be able to control if they can summon a monster or how many monsters they can summon in a turn. And because this is a slower game, using cards like Guardian Statue will really get in there. But this is Destiny Draw. This is just a part of the technique. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a toolbox deck for sure. This is actually, you could call it a spirit toolbox. And someone asked me to make another Destiny, Destiny's toolbox deck, and I'll make another one with like an updated version. Like, but this deck right here, man, it's the truth. I love hitting people with these spirit decks, hitting them with the spirit L's. So now that's my taken down. The only deck that's quote unquote meta that truly gave me an issue was Mai's deck, because sometimes, you know, she would just have 3 Harpy Ladies in the open hand. Sometimes she had it. And Weevil's deck, beatdown decks, all that type of stuff just didn't really matter. Now, actually, this is a good example of a deck that defeats me most of the time. A deck that has the ability to special summon, a deck that has really strong monsters. This is an example of a deck that can take down the spirits easily. And I thought it was ironic because the spirits would be taken down by Bakara. But, you know, hey, whatever. So I like, again, showing it from your opponent's point of view. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about, these rogue decks, right? Look at this man's hand. Like this is mind-boggling. What the fuck are you playing, bro? This is the type of stuff that was really throwing a monkey wrench into my gameplay. Because all you boys know, when I'm playing and I'm getting hit with shit like Blast Hell by Tribute and all that stuff, y'all be looking like, how the fuck you get hit by that? I don't know. But this was another G4 Platinum-esque rank match, all the way up at the fucking top of the game, upper echelons of the game. Here comes this rogue deck out of nowhere. I have no idea what this is. This man got Blast Hell by Tribute, Axe of Despair. What else? An enemy controller. It's like, what? But that's what he has, boys. And I think I just set a golden apple and summoned the crane because I was going to hit him. If he had a golden apple, he made a token. I was going to make an even bigger one. So, Susan Soldier, it's time. Now, I'm just thinking, like, I don't know what this deck is. And it's a 30-card deck. So think about it. Like, this is the type of stuff. And then he sets a mirror wall. This is the type of stuff that I was playing against. Like, people like this. And these are the people that would give me the L's, because it just literally, they could explode out of nowhere, and it's unexpected. That's the best thing about a rogue deck, the element of surprise. A lot of your opponents don't know what's coming next. But the crazy thing is, though, when you rogue decks against another rogue deck, dude got, I mean, it feels almost like somebody has all the answers. That's what it feels like. But it's hilarious, because as you're playing against a rogue deck, you just don't know what's coming next. You just don't know. So what does this guy draw? Draws into one of those little 2,000 lions off of his mirror wall. Summons 2,000 lion, smack him with the axe, bang. Then smacks my life points directly. And I think I got an apple. If I don't got an apple, it might be Spirit Invitation. Oh, excuse me. Early in the morning over here. I had to wake up, and then I was gonna get my hair all sexy, but then I said, no, I'm gonna come up in this bitch with the Karate Man, my extra 1,000 attack to this video. Like, boy, Karate Man. Anyway, drop my broken token on him. There's nothing he can do. He's like, well, fuck, in my turn. Heart of the cards. Guide me. Dirt all. So, what did I get from this? Oh, Spirit Invitation, probably. Because I was like, ha, I'm going to give you a -1, boy. So summon that white rabbit, get in there for game. That's what the strategy is with this deck. Get behind something, get in there for game. Against certain meta decks, it's just the best strategy. Against most people, it's a good strategy. So, Inaba White Rabbit returns. You can't get over my 2,000 beat stick for a moment. So we'll see what you can do, my boy. So this man draws. Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. Now, this is where it gets bananas. This is where I lose my shit. This is where I'm just sitting here chilling and summon Senju. I'm like, Senju? I'm like, what the fuck is he about to go get? I'm like, oh, he's going to go get the suck. Then he goes get this man who's going to pop the whole goddamn board. He activates it. I'm like, for a time I did. After this match, I put a magic drain in. I was so irritated. So this man drops this guy. Here he is, out of nowhere, just random, like no signs or anything that he was playing those cards. It was just surprise. Here it is. Hit you directly, boy. And I'm like, oh my shit. But I think I got another. Either it's an invitation set or I was using my destiny draw to get an apple because I thought he had a trick up his sleeve. Yeah, it's an invitation set for sure. So I think I'm gonna summon that. Oh, then harder the cards. This is why we run destiny draw, because destiny draw helps with surprises like this. So it's like, all right, what did I get? Nobleman of Extermination. Your boy is destiny drawn for that extermination every game. Destroyed that blast held by tribute. Was like, how ironic. And is this a spirit invitation? Is that invitation? Yep, that's exactly what I went and got for my last destiny draw. Summon the Caucasian rabbit. Get out here. And I'm a Caucasian rabbit. Get in there and attack them life points directly. Take it, Bakura. Take the spirit. This man takes that 1200 points of D, takes full D, and then put my card back in the hand, and I invite you. I invite you with the spirit to return to your master's hand at the end of your turn. Return. Now this man has to take back his beast, and now he's looking like, fuck me. So he draws. Boy, Beast of Tall Wars gave up. And I think I had a Karibo in hand too. But yeah, hilarious. So yeah, that was that match. Now I think I got one more for you boys. That was a clutch one. But this is Yami Yugi versus Bandit Keith. I'm sure that this one is fire. Now, oh, I didn't even mention. I should have mentioned this earlier. When my phone got disconnected, I use a Samsung Galaxy Tab A tablet, right, to record these videos. It just stopped working out of nowhere. I'm done. I'm so mad. So I had to switch to my damn phone. This phone is lava hot right now. That's why I stopped recording these videos with the phone, because when I record the videos with this phone, the phone gets blazing hot. And I got the what is this, the S7. It has this metal back. I wish you guys could see it. It is super fucking hot. Like, it's burning my hands. It's so hot. So I'm not even touching it. It's just sitting on my table, and I'm hoping that it doesn't explode. But after this, I'm gonna be crushing the off button so it can cool down. So playing against this man, Bandit Keith, I didn't even see what my hand was. Golden Apple, Spirit Invitation, yeah. Here's now. Oh, that's what this was. Oh, this is the mirror match, boys. Oh, that's what this is. The Bandit Keith mirror match. This is the guy that was playing. I had another actual metagame recording for you, and I erased it for this because I thought this was amazing. I saw this guy at P1 fighting against me, and we was going at it, boy. Especially talking shit. I don't know. I think he realized who I was. And I was like, oh shit, son. This spirit deck is like this spirit deck got me excited. Like, I didn't expect to see another person playing the spirit. And I didn't expect to see another person playing the exact same build in the Keith deck. That got me extra excited, but I had to take him down, which was my determination. I was like, you must be defeated. Not because he's playing the spirit deck. He must be defeated because I wanted a W. No other reason than that. So now he's dropping the spirit spot. He's gonna come in there with his spirit monster. What does he have? A 2300 beat stick attack. Now I'm on the receiving end of the spirit. I'm over here going Nangato! At the time this man's going in with the spirit. I totally forgot that we had this match, boys. I straight up forgot. I really forgot, man. For all you boys that hung out to this part of the video, you are really in for a treat. I might even put this in a thumbnail somewhere. But yeah, but this was like my platinum. This was like my last match that I played in platinum that the computer set me up with that was quote unquote, I'm gonna say, fair. Like, you know, I've come up with a lot of bad matchups, don't get me wrong, but when I play, now this is another thing I think is funny. When you go in with Susa Soldier, since his damage is half, these golden apples come out half of his attack. So you only get he only gets a 1,000 attack token versus a versus a 2,000 attack token, and then I go ahead and invite that token back to the hand with the power of the spirit. But guess what? Since your token can't go back to the hand, it goes just goes away. Great. So now this man, I mean, I know he's in a tough spot now because I'm sitting at 4. He's got 700 damage off of him. Here he comes to this 23. I think I got a delicious apple face down too. He knows that I probably got an apple face down. He has got a handful of spirits right now, but boy, apple, delicious. We are having the ultimate spirit battles. I love this. I love it so much. But I'm gonna win, I think, because I have more resources, just flat out. I'm starting to build faster than he can, and I have the advantage, and I have not let the advantage go since the duel started. So he's like doing a good job. Like, the deck is flowing for him, but it's just that he's playing. This is what I'm talking about, actually. This was my point, actually. From the beginning of the video, you and your boy join a tournament. Y'all both play rogue decks, but somehow you get matched up and one of you must lose. This is that example. This is exactly that example. This is why I led with that, because I wanted to show you, even though I forgot that this was a thing, that this was what I was thinking about before I sat down and recorded a video. I wanted to show you, like, this is the bullshit about rogue decks. It's a sad story where you must fight against your own brother just for the sake, you know, of the duel, man. So I'm sorry, Bandit Keith, my brother. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you was playing the spirits and my spirits had to show up, the literal spirits that may have inspired you to take you down. So yeah, that's it, my boys. That's it. No more spirits. The spirits is finished, and then we're going into a whole new king of games. I've been taking a look at a lot of stuff that's been going on right now that's online. A lot of these new decks and a lot of these people making some decks, and you know, people are leaving comments on videos like, hey, so and so made this deck first. Hey, Dan made this deck first. You're not giving them the credit. Listen, I'm gonna put it to you like this. I make a lot of decks, and sometimes I make decks first. Other times I make decks and other people might have similar ideas, or they might see it and they might make modifications and then they claim it as their own. I don't really care about that, to be 100% real. If someone took my deck and was like, oh, let me copy it and then I'll put it on my channel or whatever, and they didn't credit me, that's different. But if someone makes a deck and they're saying, oh, this is the best deck in the quote unquote format, and then nobody's quote unquote crediting Dan, I don't think that, I don't necessarily feel like someone that makes a video about a bunch of decks and then they're talking about all these decks and they're talking about how they found the decks or where they found the decks or where they saw them. I don't care about the credit there. I care about the credit if you are another YouTuber and you made a video and you straight up copied my shit and then you made another video. But other YouTubers that have copied my videos have given me shout outs. So I don't really, I mean, it's not that big a deal. And I see people's comments making a big deal. So don't stress out these YouTubers, man. Like, I'm an easygoing guy. And I don't really, to me, I don't really care. So don't stress out these YouTubers with, hey, you better get Dan the credit or I kill you. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do that to them. Let them live their lives. But yeah, that's it. The spirit deck, I love it. We had to go all the way down to G2 after we fought this ridiculous onslaught of rogue decks. And to tell you the truth, man, the meta decks is like, it's the same kind of ratio with playing a meta deck against another meta deck. You know what I mean? Like, the suck wins a lot, but when the suck has to play against the suck, it's a coin flip. You know what I'm saying? Same with a rogue deck. Rogue decks win a lot, but when a rogue deck has to play against a rogue deck, it's a coin flip. And unfortunately, I'm very unlucky. So that's why I always work hard to make cool decks that are functional, that are competitive, and yeah, and it's working out good for me. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching this video. I know I didn't get one out to you yesterday. I apologize. And this is actually pretty long. I've been pretty long-winded on here, but as always, my boys, if you like what you saw here, don't forget to let me know what you thought about this deck or what you think about King of Games in general in the comment section below. And as always, keep it